I sighed and kept staring at the water running full blast out of my faucet. I was a woman who had lived alone her entire adult life. I'd once had a long-term relationship with a 5.5 that got nowhere near living together. This was because I was a 2.5 and he was a 5.5 who wanted a 9.5. Therefore, we were both destined for broken hearts. He gave me mine. He later found a 6.5 that wanted a 9.5. She got herself a breast enhancement and nose job, which made her a firm 7, if you didn't count the fact that she thought she was a 10.5 and acted like it, which really knocked her down to a 6. Who broke his heart. Regardless of the fact that I was now 31 and had lived alone since I was 18, I knew nothing about plumbing or cars. Every time something happened with my plumbing or my car, I vowed to myself that I would learn something about plumbing or cars. I would get that said something fixed, and I'd totally forget my vow. Then, I'd lament forgetting my vow in times like I was experiencing right now. I walked out of my master bath, through my bedroom, down the hall into my open-plan living/kitchen/dining area, and out the front door. I crossed the breezeway and knocked on Derek and LaTonya's door. Derek knew something about plumbing. I knew this because of two things. First, he was a man, and men had a sixth plumbing sense. Second, I knew this because he was a plumber. LaTonya opened the door, and her big, dark eyes widened with LaTonya delight. LaTonya delight was different than anyone else's delight, and therefore deserved a capital letter. It was louder, brasher, brighter, and cheerier. The look on her face communicated her joy at seeing me like she and I had been separated at birth, and were right then being blissfully reunited. Not like she'd just seen me the night before when she came over to watch Glee with me. "Hey, girl!" she squealed through a big smile. "Perfect timing. I'm about to mix a batch of mojitos. Get your ass in here and I'll pour us some cocktails." I smiled at her but shook my head. "Can't," I told her. "Something's up with my faucet. The office hasn't returned my calls and I really need Derek to look at it. Is he around?" I sensed movement at my side, and LaTonya did too. We both looked that way to see Detective Mitch Lawson walking up the stairs, carrying 4 plastic grocery bags. If I were a 7 to 10 and in his zone, which meant I could be in his life, I would lecture him about plastic grocery bags. Considering the state of the environment, no one should use plastic grocery bags, not even hot guys who could get away with practically anything. Since I was not in his zone, and I didn't know him, and couldn't know him for fear of expiring from pleasure should he, say, speak more than a few words to me, I'd never get the chance to lecture him about plastic grocery bags. "Yo, Mitch!" LaTonya greeted him loudly with delight. "Hey, LaTonya," Mitch greeted back. Then his beautiful eyes skimmed to me, and his lips tipped up further. "Hey." "Hey," I replied, locked my legs, ignored the whoosh I felt in my belly, and looked back at LaTonya. She was checking out Detective Mitch Lawson. As any woman should, or she would be immediately reported to, then thrown out of, the woman club. I heard the rustling of bags, but I ignored it and called her name to get her attention. When I got it, I repeated, "Is Derek around? I wouldn't bother him, but my faucet won't turn off and I really need someone to look at it." "He's not here, Mara. Sorry, babe," LaTonya replied. "You said the office hasn't called you back?" "No," I told her, and was about to ask her if she would send Derek over when he got home, when I heard from my side, "You want me to look at it?" This came from Detective Mitch Lawson, and I sucked in breath and turned my head to look at him. He was standing outside his open apartment door, still carrying his bags, and his eyes were on me. My mind went blank. I lost the lock on my legs, and my knees wobbled. God, he was beautiful. "Mara," I heard from far away, and even though I heard it and it was my name, I didn't respond. "Mara!" I heard again. This time louder and sharper, my body jolted, and I turned to LaTonya. "What?" I asked. "Mitch'll look at it. That cool with you?" she asked me. I blinked at her.